Prices bids values, one machine learning powered combinatorial auction to rule them all, is joint work by Ermis, me, Jakob and Sven. By the end of this video, you know how we improved the social welfare of combinatorial auctions by hundreds of millions of dollars according to our simulation. But let's start at the beginning. At a combinatorial auction, we want to assign items to bidders according to their preferences, and their preferences can contain substitutes and complements, meaning that a bidder's value for the left shoe can be much lower if they don't also get the right shoe. An important application is a spectrum auction, where a government is selling spectrum licenses to network providers, and they are paying billions of dollars for these licenses. In practice, we have more items and more bidders, but for an easier presentation, let's get back to our toy example. For this allocation, you can imagine that it's far from optimal, but there is an optimal auction, the VCG auction. So what's a VCG auction? Here at the beginning, each bidder reports the value for each possible combination of items, and based on this information, we can optimally assign the items to the bidders by maximizing the social welfare, which is the sum of the values for the bundles that they got. And there exists a payment rule which makes it optimal for the bidders to always report the true values to the auctioneer. So this all sounds perfect. Why don't we simply use VCG? There's one big problem. There are exponentially many different combinations of items, which makes it for a realistically sized auction, it makes it impossible for bidders to report so many values to the auctioneer. Therefore, iterative combinatorial auctions became popular, which only ask targeted questions to the bidders. There are two important types of questions. The first one, demand queries, where the auctioneer is posting a price for each item, and then the bidders respond with their favorite bundle given these prices. And from this, we can infer a lower bound of their values for these bundles. The second type of questions are value queries, where the auctioneer is selecting a bundle of items for each bidder and asks them to report their value for this bundle. Over the years, many machine learning powered approaches have been proposed to leverage the history of bidders' query responses to ask better demand queries or better value queries, leading to a higher social welfare. But this previous literature did not combine these two types of queries. So what if we combine both of them? The first question is, how should we start our auction? And for example, this proposition is telling us that at the start of the auction, demand queries are better. But if demand queries are so good, do we even need value queries? And the answer is a very clear yes. For example, in this theorem, we show that even asking all possible demand queries cannot give us an acceptable guarantee for social welfare. And multiple of the theoretical results in our paper and multiple practical considerations and empirical results in our paper all lead to the same two key takeaway messages. Demand queries provide very global but coarse information, which is good for exploration at the beginning of the auction. But for value queries, it's exactly the other way around. They provide only local but very precise information, which is good towards the end of the auction. Because when our neural networks have already obtained a good approximation of bidders' preferences, then we can ask very targeted value queries, which give us the information that we really need to obtain good social welfare. And also the learning performance benefits from combining these two different types of queries. But let's get to our social welfare results. Here for 4 different spectrum auction simulators, we have on the x-axis the number of queries and on the y-axis the efficiency loss. Here you can see that our method in yellow outperforms the other competitors. Here in green, we have the most established auction used in practice. In blue, the state-of-the-art demand query-based auction, and in purple, the state-of-the-art value query-based auction. And across all these simulated domains, we are the new state-of-the-art. And in some of them, we reduced the efficiency loss by a factor of 10. And for the most realistic simulator, we improved social welfare by more than $100 million. And for more details, please join our talk at session 6E. Thank you.